Greetings folks, this is an interesting plane that popped up on the Banggood website. It's called, on the website, Electric RC Airplane FPV Trainer 1400mm wingspan. It's inside, it's called the Pterosaur 1400. Great name. This came from Banggood, Australia, and arrived in pretty good condition apart from these two size 12 boot marks. Someone's used it as a step to climb up onto something else, which is not impressive at all. Anyway, don't know whether that's the factory guys or the courier company, but that is pretty disappointing. But seems like the plane is okay. So let's have a look at what's inside. Bit of a pamphlet there, and you can see it's a pusher style tail dragger, and interestingly it has a plastic body and EPO wing, and I think it's like an EPP tail section. Anyway, we'll find out later on. There's all the funky stickers there, more stickers there, wings and tail plane. Here's the plastic body, lots of space inside, space for servos. So yeah, it's kind of unique. Haven't seen a plane like this before, really. Even the Volantex planes kind of use a different plastic, so interesting to see how it turns out. There's a centre section or a centre cover for the wing, I guess. Some landing gear. There's the tail boom. We've got some spars and pushrod guides there. Pushrod's already internal. A couple of bags of hardware. All right. It's pretty cheap and cheerful, I think. It's plug and play is $76 US, which is pretty cheap. Let's have a look at some of the specs. Fuselage 1120mm, wingspan 1400mm, takeoff weight 870 grams. Motor, the plug and play specifications, 22, 12, 1400 kV, 8x6 prop, 30 amp ESC. That is just an absolute classic combination powertrain. You could use that for vast majority of mid-sized planes, I guess. 4 9-gram servos. You can also get a kit version as well, which would be even cheaper, of course. There's the rudder. It has a nice big tall rudder, which I like, because a lot of these pusher planes with a big chunky fuselage can suffer from bad adverse yaw because the rudder is hidden behind the fuselage. So this high rudder may well mitigate that. Homogeneous kind of EPP, I guess. There's the horizontal stabiliser. It has carbon strips in there for stiffness. Quite highly tapered wing with plastic hinges in here. That's very nice. Nice big cord there, tapering down to a narrow tip. And we're going to have to put the plywood spars in there, I guess, so there's a little bit of a build to it. Pockets for the servos there. And pretty standard Clark Weiss style airfoil. So it all looks pretty reasonable. I think it'll be a nice lightweight trainer or FPV plane, but we'll find out when we put it all together. There's pretty good pictures showing you what goes where, so I'm sure we can work it out pretty quickly. Rubber band hold down for the wing on the top here. Okay, let's put it together. So there's the Pterosaurus all assembled. It's a pretty easy build. It's not a sort of high quality, high cost, high tech model. It's quite simple and basic. It uses pretty cheap components. It is quite lightweight, fully balanced with a 2200 3S ready to fly. It's under 800 grams, which means it, with the wing area and wingspan, it's going to be quite a decent slow flyer, I think. Nice big 8x6 prop, 1400 kV motor, so I think it'll be sort of a nice, quiet, sedate flying plane. The foam is kind of soft. I don't think it's going to survive a decent crash or anything like that, but as long as you understand what it is, it's a cheap model. The kit version is only $45 US, so if it flies at all, it'll be worth it, I think. And it could well be a lot better than the price reflects. Some of the components, I sort of decided not to use the little push rod adjusters. They just look a little bit too weak and fiddly for me. So I've just done an L bend and used some push rod connectors or push rod keepers there, and that works perfectly well. The plastic fuselage, it's pretty thin plastic, but may well be okay. The proof will be when we take it for a fly, which will be very soon. I've also added some icy pole sticks at the front and back where the rubber bands go over, just so it doesn't sort of bite into the foam there, because it's not really dense foam. It'll be appropriate for the weight of the plane, I think. Anyway, very interesting indeed. Could be a really nice, quite cheap, slow-flying FPV, trainer, pusher, whatever you want to call it. The Pterosaur 1400. Thanks for watching, and the Maiden will be coming up very soon.